guest has one of those names and faces that makes you go, hey, I know that guy. And we are so pleased to have actor and Texan Marc Menchaca here with us on the broadcast to talk about his latest project, This Is Where We Live. Take a look.
And one. Okay, got it. One.
Can you teach me how to use that thing?
When I was a kid, me and my brother used to come out here and skip rocks for hours. Brother's cool, dude.
You don't know him.
He will no longer be an excuse around here.
And we want to welcome to the broadcast Marc Menchaca. Hello. Okay, so you wrote this movie, you directed this, and you also starred in it. You're quite the triple threat now, aren't you?
Well, I don't know if I'd say triple threat. But yeah, no, I did write it, and I co-directed with Josh Barrett.
Now, how heavy does that fill your plate when you're trying to fill all these roles of, you know, getting into the actor's mindset and getting into the writing? You're wearing a lot of hats during this. Is that difficult for you to juggle all of it during the production?
It was, yeah, this was our first film, and so I was a little bit
Overwhelmed?
Yeah, I got cold feet right before, and I told my producer, I was like, I don't think I can, like 5 days before, I was like, I can't act in this thing. And he was like, nope, we can't, we don't have any money to hire somebody. And then, yeah, and then, I mean, the directing, it worked really well with Josh and I. We know each other well, and he knew the story and what we wanted to do with it. And so, yeah, we just kind of did it together.
Inspiration for the story?
I have a good friend in Austin who has cerebral palsy, and I was with him for a couple of years, well, 3 years, and we're still very good friends. We come up to Texas Motor Speedway every year for the race, and yeah, my relationship with him was it's just always been really meaningful, and it's a very special relationship, and I wanted to somehow let people know about that.
Tell us about the movie. I mean, this is some pretty heavy stuff here. You've got family dynamics with some disabilities going on. How heavy was this of a film? And tell us about it a little bit.
I wouldn't say, I mean, it is heavy in some respects, but it's also, you know, a film about family, and there's a lot of hope and love in there. But yeah, it was, you know, I think the main thing that I wanted to get across in this is that this family that, yes, from the outside looking in, it seems like they've got tons on their plate to deal with, but when you're in that situation, you deal with it, and you don't feel sorry for yourself. You don't wish you had wish your life was different, because you love the ones that you're with.
When you saw, go ahead.
I was just saying, you're from San Angelo, is that correct?
Yes.
And you shot the movie in the Hill Country. Is it here? Is that right?
We shot it in Llano, and then a little town called Pontotoc, in between Llano and Brady, and then we shot a little bit in San Angelo.
Why did you choose Texas to shoot this movie?
Because I know Texas, and I, you know,
Were you trying to represent?
I was trying to. I would say it was a little bit of a love letter to my home state.
A nod to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
a lot of great talents coming from here in movies as well.
Yeah.
When you saw the finished product, what were you most proud of? Your writing, your directing, or your acting?
Oh gosh, I don't like to watch myself, so I guess the directing with Josh. I feel like we got some good stuff that I didn't know if we were going to be able to pull off. But a lot of that credit goes to our actors.
Your
like
actors. And can we talk about the actor who plays the boy? And I asked you, does he have cerebral palsy, because he's so good?
Yeah, he did some of his own research, and then he came down to Austin and spent 4 or 5 days with my buddy Thomas, and that was all him.
Wow.
He got that all by himself. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Wow.
And he blew me away. I actually the night before we started shooting, we went into the house to just kind of, I don't know, rehearse a little bit or what. I hadn't seen anything like what he was going to do, and I remember sitting in that chair, and he got on the floor, and I started crying when I saw him.
Boy, it helps
I mean,
you out as an actor too, though, to
Yeah.
be able to.
It's really incredible seeing my friend Thomas and what Tobias did, and he did such an incredible job with it.
What did Thomas think?
He loved it.
Okay.
Loved
Well, we're
the
going to
film.
talk more to you in a little bit. And you guys, you can catch the red carpet premiere of This Is Where We Live tomorrow night. It's happening at Angelica Film Center, and that's starting at 6:30 p.m. There will also be a Q&A session that's immediately following the film, and tickets are still available. Stick around because we've got more with Marc. That's happening when we come back.